Don't tell me to shut up. Don't tell
Shut the fuck up, you bald fuck. Oh, big boss man, don't tell. I'll tell you, you work for me.
me. Okay, go ahead.
You
Continue.
little bitch. You work for me.
Sure, you bet. For now.
Oh, you don't?
Okay, continue.
You're literally saying...
Hello and welcome to another episode of Lost Aux Media. Let's let Dave express some of his frustrations towards anti-Semitism before we get into this crack Amico bit.
You could joke about death, you could joke about rape, you could joke about Indians or dead babies, laughing at whatever the fuck that you wanna. Only one thing is sacred, that's Davey. Don't joke about Jules, nah. Don't joke about Jules, hey. Don't joke about Jules, don't joke about Jules, don't joke about Dave.
Yes, you can't joke about them Jews, okay? When it comes to Dave Portnoy, you cannot joke about the Jews. If you didn't know, this is a very hot button issue for Davey Pizzas, okay? How's everybody doing on this fine Wednesday? I hope you're doing well. I'm recording this on a Sunday, very lazy Sunday. It's been a very interesting week. Even more interesting weekend. I'll tell you about that a little bit later. As always, we have some of the greatest jamokes this side of the podcast and comedy internet circuit. We will be getting to all that and more, but let's indulge on some crack Amico first.
What if I said something that you ain't like? What if I called you a kike? What if I noticed somehow you make money whenever a colored man spits in a mic? What if I told you that Israel is evil and it's time to rise up and free Palestine? Or maybe our parties involved are retarded and things would be better if all of them died. Especially the children, I hate them the most. Raise up your glass, I'm proposing a toast in honor of freedom to make any joke, even though there's a victim within every roast.
That crack Amico dropping that fucking banger on Dave Portnoy, right? Good old Davey Pizzas. You guys remember? I said I was going to start calling Dave Mr. Davey Pizzas from now on in the last episode. It was a very good one last week. But I wanted to tell you about my interesting weekend, right? It started in the middle of the week. My best friend hit me up. They're like, hey man, I'm gonna redo the garden in front of your house. It's full of weeds. You have this nice garden bed. Seems like you're not doing anything with it. Kind of a little bit of a waste to just let that go. So you know what? You don't even have to lift a finger. I'll take care of the whole thing. I'll do it myself. So I'm sitting there like, oh, that's great. If I don't have to lift a finger to do it all, you're gonna pay for the whole thing. It's not much. Buy some plants. Couple bags of mulch, maybe. I don't know. I'd never gardened. I never done that. So I didn't, and I definitely didn't plan on it. So Bestie was going to take care of it. I only got one. Everybody should only have one best friend. You ever meet people like out in the world, they introduce you to somebody, they go, this is my bestie. And then a couple days later, they introduce you to somebody else. They go, this is my bestie. You're like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? Don't trust those people. Okay, you can have a lot of friends. You should only have one best friend. Okay, so if my bestie wants to take care of it, I'm gonna let them. All right. Here's the thing, though. My bestie is a woman. She's a woman. So this is like, yeah, I get told I don't have to lift a finger. I gotta lift a couple fucking fingers. Trust me. Okay, I gotta lift a couple. All right. She comes over. She's like, I got this all worked out. She buys a gardening kit. She buys the hoe, the hoe. She buys it, all right, with her own money. She's independent. She don't need me, all right? But she needs me for the gardening job. So she starts the gardening where she goes, man, this gardening is busting my knees up. You want to come with me to Lowe's to get a kneeling pad? That's all we're going. We're just getting the kneeling pad, and then we're gone. Notice the sound on the soundboard because it's never that easy. It's never that easy when you're going shopping with a woman. I love my best friend to death, don't get me wrong. It doesn't change the fact that she is who she is. Okay? She is a woman. So we go in that bitch for a kneeling pad so that she doesn't mess her knees up while gardening in front of my house. I'm there for an hour. We leave 8 bags of mulch, a big-ass container of preen. I don't even know what preen is. Apparently, it helps keep the weeds out after you dig them up or something like that. We get a 100-foot hose, a hose rack for the hose, a spray nozzle for the hose. We leave 8 different types of plants. The cart is stacked. We needed 2 carts. I'm pushing this thing. 8 bags of mulch, pushing that in the cart, dude. That'll fuck you up. It was 80 degrees yesterday when we started doing all of this. And this isn't even the worst part. The shopping's not even the worst part. The worst part is my best friend, right? She's going to hang out. I'm going to want to hang out with her. I'm still not going to lift a finger to do the gardening job. I didn't sign up for this. So I'm just going to go pull up a nice little front porch chair like I got. I got my little front porch furniture. I'm going to pull up one of those chairs. I'm going to sit and I'm going to chill and I'm going to watch her. All right? Here's the thing, though. My neighbors, I'm not chummy with my neighbors. They don't know me. I don't know them. And I wouldn't have it any other way, okay? A friendly wave, that's about as close as you're going to get to having a full-on conversation with me if you live in my neighborhood. Trust me. So they don't know me. So to them, it looks like I'm like some fucking asshole significant other or something like that, and I'm just making my wife do garden work while I sit and watch. That's what it looks like. To the outside, to the untrained eye, I look like some schmuck sitting there with my arms crossed, and hey, you missed a spot over there. You forgot to dig it up. You know, spread the preen better. I don't know, make the mulch look nicer. You know, it's kind of fucked up. I had to go inside. I couldn't even hang out with her the rest of the time while she was doing it. I felt so awkward. People were driving by, giving me like awkward looks and shit like that. I was like, bro, trust me. This isn't what it looks like. You know, it's one of those situations you get caught. You're like, it's not what it looks like, I promise. But that was my, you know, interesting little start to the weekend. And then, of course, we're ending it with a nice, fun time hanging out with you guys. And we're going to start this episode with a little bit of a What's Eating Ethan Klein segment.
I'd be a pedophile for 20 million.
That is the week segment for those of you who don't know. This is a segment where we cover Ethan Klein and the H3 show. When they're doing stupid shit, this isn't an every week segment. It tends to be a lot. You know, Ethan tends to do a lot of stupid stuff. So it seems like this is an every week segment. It's not. I just am I'm reserving these for when they do stupid shit, say stupid shit. And this week, they're saying some stupid shit. They're going to express their very strong opinions about the ICE raids and all of this stuff happening. Apparently in the streets, kids are getting ripped from their parents. Parents are getting ripped from their kids. They're getting deported left and right. You know? It's not like they did anything wrong. All they did was showed up illegally. That's it. And that's not even that big of a fucking deal. Like, I'm breaking the law every day. I'm smoking weed all the goddamn time in this bitch. Okay? But if I got caught smoking weed, I wouldn't be like, oh, man, this is like a crime against humanity that you're arresting me, bro. It's like you're ripping me away from my family right now. You know, it's fucking crazy. These guys tend to look at it in that light. So I wanted to start with the time code of Ethan giving a very good example of the fear that people are feeling in their hearts with all of these ICE raids going on. And then we're going to segue into the gang talking about the riots in LA that are happening as a result of these ICE raids. So let's start out with Ethan's example. Take it away, Mr. Klein.
So we got Home Depot raids. Oh, let me give you an example of someone that I know of how fucked up these are. Because it's easy to look at it and just say like, well, they're here illegally. Like we're just enforcing our laws, right? Mm-hmm. So let me give you an example. So I know a family who the mom immigrated here. And then when she has two daughters, and when they were very young, they came after her. One of them was on DACA, and one of them couldn't get papers for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. But she came to stay with her family. They came when they were like 5 or whatever. And they've been living in the United States for like 30 years. Okay? They both have jobs. They all work. Are like, they have kids. They each of these girls now, they're in their 30s, and they each have like several kids. Okay? And so only one of the daughters, who has 3 kids, is undocumented. And the rest of the family is there legally. So there's this standing aura that she's afraid of, and seems like it's a valid fear, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that she's going to get deported to Mexico by herself.
And her whole family's here.
Her whole family, including her children, are here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I wanted to make sure Ethan got out his whole point before I said anything about it, because this seems like a very heart-wrenching story. This seems like a story that you would put your heart out to some people for, right? You know what I mean? Elon Musk style. You would pull a nice Roman salute for these Mexican families off of this shit. Seems a little strange to me. You've been here 30 goddamn years. You cemented yourself in by having 3 kids, right? You never thought once, maybe I should, get my papers. I don't, you never thought about that one time? I'm not like some crazy, immigrant nut. Like, if you slip in, hey, by all means, mi casa, su casa, my friend. But here's the thing. If you get caught, that's the risk that you take. You know what I mean? Like I mentioned that weed analogy earlier, right? I take the risk of smoking the weed. It happens to be in my house, right? Doesn't make it any less illegal. Well, now I'm legal. I switched over to this like THCA stuff. Like you could get this stuff in the fucking mail now. Everything I'm smoking on the show, 100% legal. Nothing illegal. I could smoke it in all 50 states. Maybe not Texas soon, but they're fucking bucking up over weed, about weed over there in Texas. Kind of crazy. But I brought up that weed analogy. If I was smoking like actual weed, it would be illegal. I would be taking that risk, right? And like I said, if I got caught, that's on me. So like if you come into the country illegally, I don't think that like having a family necessarily and a sob story makes it like cool. Once you get caught, they go, okay, we'll just let you slide. It's not like if somebody gets caught for like, murdering somebody, they go, whoa, you gonna throw me away for 50 fucking years off of that? I got a whole fucking wife and kids, man. What are you doing? You're gonna take me away from my newborn all because I killed his babysitter? That's fucked up. It's still a law. You still broke it, right? You gotta live with the consequences. So it's kind of like a shitty analogy. On top of that, right? This is the one thing that I don't get. The story is kind of weird to me. He says the mom came, then the 2 daughters were in Mexico. Though one daughter came first, she had papers, she was on DACA. Then the second daughter came, and then everyone decided to stay, right? So in my... like when I'm putting the pieces together, if I put my investigative journalism hat on, which I rarely put on, so it's a very special occasion. When I put this hat on, I sit there, I say to myself, okay, so everyone was here illegally until the second daughter came. She's the 3rd person in the chain. So I go, what kind of real life scenarios would that happen in? And then I envision that. And the only one I could think of is the 2 are here, the mom and the daughter, and they're going, yo, America is fucking lit, bro. America is the shit. And they're sitting there phoning back to Mexico going like, yo, we got to get everybody over here because the shit we're making so much money and we're not even getting paid minimum wage. And we're sending you guys back shit. And we got 2 incomes. If we could get a 3rd, oh boy, you guys will be living rich down there. Okay. And we'll be doing just fine up here. Trust me. So they go, yo, we want the daughter to come and visit so that she could see this new way of life, man. This shit's great. And then when we get her papers, she has something to look forward to. So the daughter comes and visits without papers. Now, the family is so excited to have the daughter there, right? They're rejoicing. They're having fiestas, quinceañeras, and shit like that, whatever they do in Mexico. And they don't want that to stop. They don't want the feeling of their other daughter to be, because now the family is like complete. The mom, she finally has her 2 daughters there in America. To her, it's like she's making the dream come true prematurely in a sense, So then they get to thinking, they go, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, we don't really even see like that many like ICE agents and Border Patrol people like in our everyday lives. We rarely come in contact with law enforcement unless we're actually breaking laws. Maybe we're speeding, something like that. We get pulled over. It's all good. We got papers, right? They're not going to check this little girl. Like, if I get pulled over and I have papers, they're not going to assume that my children don't have papers. They're just going to leave them alone, right? So, like, why don't we risk it? Why don't we just save ourselves the headache of going through the paperwork and DACA, getting the green card, doing all that stuff? We already got 2 out of the 3 got paperwork. The third one is just a +1. Okay, so they risk it. They take the risk. They go, hey, and they might have genuinely had like good intentions in their heads. They might have been like, let's just keep her here. She'll be illegal for now, and then later we'll get the papers and we'll all be fine. We'll keep her here. We don't have to send her back home, and we'll get it all done here. They really might have thought that way. And then somewhere down the line, you face this level of complacency where you're like, damn, dude. You look down at your watch, you go, it's been 15 years and I'm still an illegal. See, to me at that point, I would go to myself like, yo, man, maybe it's time I get my shit. Like, I got a house, I got kids. Like, I got to think about my children, right? And I got to be there for them. So I'm going to try to mitigate any risks in my life that will cause situations to where I can't be there for my kids. If I was that woman, first risk that pops into my head, I go, oh, I need to get my legal status. I need to get my legal status, right? Like, now I got kids. Like, I have to worry about the goddamn kids. No, they don't do that. That's something to me. That's like a point right there that kind of pulls the empathy out of that situation for me personally. Like, you had a lot of time. You had 30 years. According to Ethan's story, you had 30 goddamn years. Now everybody's legal except you. Why? Why? You couldn't have taken care of it? Like, at that point, there has to be some sort of like, what do they call that shit? It's not like immunity. Is it like indemnification? It's not. Amnesty. I think it's called amnesty. Where they're like, it's like a situation where someone goes, hey, I know someone has drugs in this room. I'm going to turn my back. And as long as the drugs just show up on the table and I can throw them away, no one gets in trouble. It's kind of like a situation where they go, if you just tell us, we won't fuck you on it. We'll try to help you get through it. It's like that, right? There has to be something like that for immigrants, right? Am I wrong? Like, so this girl with the 3 kids, the illegal one out of this family that Ethan's talking about, who are all probably nannies for Ethan. Let's be real. It's not like Ethan's hanging out with a bunch of fucking undocumented immigrants. These are all people that work for him. This is the only reason he knows this story. So this one woman out of this family, 10, 15 years in, there wasn't any type of office that she could go to be like, hey, look, like, I'm here. I'm starting to, like, you know, cement myself into the culture. I know that it was a mistake that I came in illegally. I'd really like to fix this. You know? I don't know. Something tells me that if you tried to do something like that, I don't think that they would just look at you and go, no, fuck you, you're out. Send her back. You know, I don't know. That might just be me. I look at this situation as like when I meet people who are Hispanic, because I look Puerto Rican, right? You know, I am Puerto Rican, right? So a lot of times Hispanic people will come up to me. They start yapping away in Spanish. And I'm like, whoa, I'm American, motherfucker. I've been American for 35 years. I've never turned it off once. All 35, since the day I was born, red, white, and blue has been pumping through these veins. And I make sure that that's a well-known fact when Hispanic people come up to me and start just ripping off in Spanish as if I'm supposed to know what the fuck they're talking about, right? So I tell them, and 9 times out of 10, I get the same response. They go, oh, you not speaking no Spanish? Why, you Puerto Rican, you not speaking no Spanish? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué, señor? You're not speaking no Spanish. And I'm like, looking at them like, did you miss the part where I told you I was fucking born here, bro? Like, did I need it? I didn't need it. I'm sorry. I don't have it. It's not what I'm an American, goddammit. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry that both of my parents were born in Puerto Rico. I'm not ashamed of being Puerto Rican. I don't speak Spanish. And they give me that. They go, you should know Spanish. You're not a real Puerto Rican if you don't know Spanish. I'm like looking at them like, how long have you been here in America? And they always go, 15 years, 10 years. I've been here 25 years. And I'm looking at them like, okay, you've been here 25 years. You don't speak a lick of goddamn English. You don't speak no fucking English. You're pissed off at me for not speaking Spanish. I'm not in Mexico, dude. Like, if I lived in Germany for 25 fucking years, I would learn how to speak German. I wouldn't walk around like my dick was fucking made of gold and go, fuck Germany. I don't have to learn their shit. They got to live around my English ass. I got to walk, or they have to figure out what I'm saying. Fuck them. You can't live life like that. You know what I mean? You can't do it. Hispanic people do that kind of shit. And I feel like that's the same kind of mindset that in this particular case, these people have coming from Ethan's story. Like, you got complacent, Ethan. They got complacent. She thought that she thought the shit was sweet. Now that the shit ain't sweet no more, she's scared of getting deported. She should have got the fucking paper. She had 30 goddamn years. Now why? Everybody's up in arms about this goddamn shit. Everyone's pissed about this, especially in hippy dippy ass cities like Los Angeles. These liberals, you know what I mean? Is that what they call? I know, I sound real right wing right now, dude. I sound fucking crazy, I bet, to some people right now. But so the H3 crew, they're talking about these protests. And it's crazy because everybody's like, oh, the protests are violent. And then some people are like, the protests aren't violent. The news is blowing it out of proportion. Which side do you think the H3 crew is on? Come on. Which side do you think? Come on, man.
Let me tell you, LA is not on fire. This is not that big a deal. And they're intentionally trying to make it seem way more violent and way larger than it is to justify the crackdown and sending in the National Guard. And now, I guess, I don't know if it's actually happened yet, but we were talking about the Marines potentially being mobilized, which is just like, what are we talking about here? Like,
this is extremely peaceful looking protests.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
about as peaceful as it gets.
They're as peaceful as it gets. Bro, this is like the beginning. It's like when everybody's just first getting to Woodstock, you know? Like Woodstock, like I'm not talking the original Woodstock. That was peace and love. Everybody, that shit was peaceful. The first Woodstock was peaceful. No. I'm talking about like Woodstock 98. You know? That was a fucking shit show. If you don't know about Woodstock, the one that happened in the late 90s, look it up. I'm telling you. Shit's getting raped. People dying. Motherfuckers were legitimately getting trampled to death. Okay? Nobody knew what the fuck was going on. It was total chaos. Limp Bizkit blew the fucking roof off the goddamn. It was madness, okay? It was madness. But when it first started, it looked a lot like this, okay? When Woodstock 98 happened, the first like 4 hours looked like this. It was normal. Everyone was walking in with their signs. Limp Bizkit fucking rocks, man. You know? And that's kind of like the same vibe we're getting right now. But these guys, this is they're painting this picture. They're using this very moment in time to generalize the entire situation. And I'm not going to lie, the news is probably doing the same thing on the opposite end. They're using like a couple bad points and going, the whole protest is like this. It really might not be. This is the type of situation where I go, I'm not there. I can't judge it. I'm not there. And then I'll see like a random clip on X and I'll be like, my mind's made up. It's a violent protest, you know?
I won't lie, like there's a lot of graffiti downtown, a lot of fuck ICE written all over the place, and they burned some Waymos and a couple cop cars, I think.
Dude,
I'm not going to pretend like it was 100% peaceful, but the...
What the fuck?
Look at Dan. Look at Dan over here. He goes, yeah, man, it's cool. No, it's like as peaceful as it gets, man. There's like I live like 2 blocks away from where the riots. Every time there's riots, I'm not even kidding. The riots could be happening anywhere in Los Angeles. And Dan will go, I actually live like 2 blocks away from the riots. They're like not even that bad. Like they're not even that bad. Okay. Like the riots could be in like fucking, like San Bernardino. He's like, I live like 2 blocks. And it's like, whoa, dude, I thought you lived in LA. He's like, yeah, I do live in LA. I live everywhere in LA. I live in every fucking part of LA. That's like Dan's know-it-all ass. And then he sits there and he goes, well, you know, I go to my car. There's graffiti all over the place. There's a couple cop cars that are on fire. Some Waymos that are fucking beat to shit. You know what I mean? A couple of looted stores, you know. But everything's peaceful, man. Like, I promise LA is not on fire, dude. I promise it's not on fire. Let's listen to that again.
Let me tell you, LA is not on fire. This is not that big a deal, and they're intentionally trying to make it seem way more violent and way larger than it is to justify the crackdown and sending in the National Guard. And now, I guess, I don't know if it's actually happened yet, but we were talking about the Marines potentially being mobilized, which is just like, what are we talking about here? Like,
this is extremely peaceful looking protests.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Not as peaceful.
they're, you know, I won't lie, like, there's a lot of graffiti downtown, a lot of "fuck ICE" written all over the place, and they burned some Waymos and a couple cop cars, I think.
Dude,
I'm not going to pretend like it was 100% peaceful, but the scale of the response is so disproportionate to, like, what's actually happening right now.
In LA.
Okay, now this is the part that I love this. I love these guys. But this is why H3, this is why it's my favorite show. Because how disillusioned they are from, like, reality. You know what I mean? Like, that's their thoughts on the protest. They see one little clip. You look, this is like when it first started. You look at the sky. It's probably like 11 a.m., 12 p.m. at the latest, you know? Looks pretty fucking peaceful, if you ask me. Wait until I show you what the protest was actually like, because I got a clip, okay? I got a clip of the actual protest. Let's check this out. Wait until you see this bad boy over here. So I'm gonna pause it. We gotta watch this in its entirety now. This is what the news is reporting, but not only just the news. This is people's cell phone footage. You notice the time of day looks a little darker. This is a little later on in the day from when Ethan had that clip of the most peaceful protest in world history, right? This is the actual protest. But we're not just going to get clips. We also get a nice little tune. So I'm going to spark up a J while we enjoy this banger. Check this out.
What is just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn.
Just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn. Just a few amigos having fun watching cars burn. Just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn. No riot aquí, just a fiesta, let it turn. Just a bunch of essays having fun watching cars burn. Ice rolls deep, tear gas in the street, Waymos go boom, but it's mostly peace. Padilla dice passionate, peaceful, bueno, while bricks hit cops and a mucho fuego. Brown's on the mic, it's a carnival fam, but X shows the fire and it's wild on the gram.
Look at
Just
that.
a bunch of people having fun.
Look, Ethan's like, I mean, it's about as peaceful as a protest gets over here. Bro, this cop can't even drive through the crowd. Like, this cop is like, no, like, I'm not here for you guys. Like, I got to get to the other side of town because there's a woman, like a pregnant woman, who just got in a car crash. The car is on fire. So could I, please, guys. And they're all beating the fuck out of his goddamn car. This about as peaceful as it gets, guys. I've never even seen a more peaceful protest. And they're sending the National Guard and the Marines out there. Like, what are we doing, guys? I thought this was America.
Watching cars burn. Just a few amigos having fun watching cars burn.
Protesters and demonstrators are peaceful. They're passionate.
The reality is we see peaceful protests launching in Los Angeles.
Donald Trump is inflaming these conditions.
Molotov fly, smokes choke in the air. TikTok's lit up, foreign flags everywhere. KM's on CNN, it's manageable un poco. While Waymos exploding, wetbacks gone loco.
Look, I love that part. The guy's like, KM's on CNN, con poco. Waymo explodes, wetbacks go loco. I love it. The Waymo explodes, wetbacks go loco. I love it.
Molotov fly, smokes choke in the air. TikTok's lit up, foreign flags everywhere. KM's on CNN, it's manageable un poco. While Waymos exploding, wetbacks gone loco.
Wetbacks gone loco.
Icy's inciting the mess, but the freeway's blocked and the guards in distress. No bueno.
Very peaceful. They
Just a bunch of people having fun
Look, this is insane to me, dude. If you have a car that's like so on fire, it's like making like a mushroom cloud of smoke. This is not peaceful. You as soon as arson gets involved in the mix, it's not peaceful. That's what I don't get. They go, well, just a couple of those things happen, but it's still peaceful because the majority of it was. If one part of it is not peaceful, the whole thing is not peaceful. Okay? It's when Martin Luther King was making speeches. Well, I don't know. Actually, I might be talking out of my ass. I'm like, when he was making speeches, people weren't rioting in the streets, were they? I don't know. I always grew up knowing like Martin Luther King had like speeches, right? And nobody did nothing but listen. They all sat there with their hands like this, just waiting. They go, Mr. King, please say another. I'd like to hear about another dream, Mr. King. That's what that's how I always grew. So it's like, what are we doing here? This is what's actually happening right here. This is it. It's just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn.
Fun watching cars burn. Just a few amigos having fun watching cars burn. Just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn. No riot aquí, just a fiesta. Let it turn. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Just a bunch of faces having fun watching cars burn. Dale, dale, the city's in flames. No riot here, just a media game. Just a bunch of people having fun
Watching cars burn. Just a bunch of people having. Give it up for the actual protest, everybody. Let's give it up for the actual It's just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn. It's not even that big of a deal. Don't take it from me. Take it from H3. They're all knowing. Mr. Klein is all powerful. Okay? Little did you know, he's all powerful. Let's actually keep it going a little bit with the What's Eating Ethan Klein segment. I wanted to watch this little time code. This is just a funny one to end it on. So, Ethan and the gang, they had Bradley Martin and Steiny on the podcast for this one episode, right? This is a different episode than the clips that we just watched with the riots. So they have Bradley Martin and Steiny on, right? And during this episode, they wanted to do a taste test of Selena Gomez's new Oreos. Apparently, she's got this new flavor. You got like the Oreo cookie on the top, the cream filling in the middle, but the cream filling is infused with cinnamon. It's got a little bit of cinnamon in there, right? And of course, another regular Oreo cookie to end it on the bottom. This makes the Selena Gomez Oreo collaboration. Okay. And the gang is very excited to try this. Ethan, in particular, you guys understand Ethan is like obsessed with food. This guy is nonstop eating. I don't, to this day, no one is going to convince me that he doesn't take Ozempic or something like that. This guy is stuffing his face with fast food, crazy shit all the fucking time. And he lost like 100 pounds in the last like 2 years. There's no way. There's no way this guy's exercising. He's built like a fucking like a string puppet. Lanky. Like Ethan looks like he's barely able to stand up. Okay? So that's how obsessed he is with food. Somehow he's still losing weight. That's beside the point. So he's trying this cookie for what we think is the first time on air, right? Let's make sure I have the right time code. We're going to find out a little bit of a secret. The gang is holding out a little bit of a secret that has to do with these cookies. What's it going to be? Let's check it out.
Imagine that order.
Rush order.
It's urgent. I need a fucking
pretty good.
gallon of milk.
It is.
Sometimes it is actually if you're baking.
I think
I swear with milk, that'd be. Yeah, I'll have one more.
I love Selena Gomez and I love her Oreos.
With milk, that'd be a 10 out of 10.
I love Selena Gomez.
I do. It's true.
So this is just a regular Oreo, but with the cinnamon layer.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, it needs milk. I'm set on that.
Gotcha.
Okay,
If you like
I'll
cinnamon, you'll like
order
it.
right now.
You know? That's funny.
No, she's ordering milk for Brad right now. It's just funny.
Don't order
You know
milk.
what? I'm gonna go next door and see.
You don't have to do that.
Oh yeah, do that.
Look, listen, that's so funny. Steiny, right? This is a pretty crazy one. Remember we covered Steiny a couple episodes back, how big of a piece of shit he is? His sister outing him all the time, right? So this is going to be rich if you heard that episode. You hear Steiny in the background. Olivia is sitting there going like, oh, I'll get milk because Brad is like, these cookies would be way better with milk. Good old Bradley Martin needs him some Miak, all right? And good old Olivia is like, oh, I'll run next door. I'll order some milk. I'll do whatever you want, Brad. I'll get the milk, whatever. Steiny has like a crush on Olivia, right? It's not a crush. Steiny wants to fuck Olivia, okay? Let's just be real. He wants to frick her. Okay, so he's trying to frick Olivia, and he every time he's there, he's hitting on her. So the fact that Olivia is sitting there going like, "I'll go out of my way to get milk for Brad," Steiny's like, "Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And this whole episode, he's hitting on Olivia, right? You come to find out later, Steiny's girlfriend's been sitting in the lobby the whole time during the episode, the whole entire time. She's listening. You can hear they have monitor speakers throughout the studio. So like when Ethan goes to take a shit for 45 minutes, he can still hear what's happening on the episode because the monitor speakers go throughout the studio. So Steiny's girlfriend's sitting in the lobby and she has to sit there and listen to Steiny hit on Olivia for over 2 hours. They're on H3 is a long show. She has to sit there and listen to all that. Listen how Steiny's like, whoa, you know what I mean? And he's trying to be playful, banter. Like I said, he doesn't want to marry Olivia, despite what he says. He wants to frick her, okay? Now listen, he's like, whoa, yeah, okay, you don't have to get Brad milk, blah, blah, blah. The whole time his girlfriend's in the lobby.
She's ordering milk for Brad right now. It's just fun.
Don't order
You know
milk.
what? I'm gonna go next door and see.
You don't have to do that.
Oh, yeah, do that.
You don't
Wow,
have to do
that's
that.
so sweet of her.
This is smart.
I think I'm gonna be able to acquire some milk. Let's see.
Oh, awesome.
The cow next door.
She's
Ridiculous.
She's great.
What, now you're like that? She's a wife?
There's a little farm.
That's what I'm like.
That's your
We
response?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Like Brad.
Moving on.
Should we say what happened yesterday?
What?
What happened yesterday?
Look, should we say what happened yesterday? Should we say what happened yesterday? Look, this right here, look at this Swedish fuck over here. If you needed a reason to hate Swedes, this is 1 through 1,000 reasons right here. He's the 13th reason why. I made 13 fucking cassette tapes. I've been hiding them through my family's house over the couple of years because I'm going to blow my brains out. And when they go and listen to the tapes back, they're going to end up finding out when they listen to the 13th tape that it was all this asshole's fault. You know? I imagine, it's funny that I just thought of that show for that little stupid ass joke. Because like, now that I'm thinking about that show, how crazy is that? Like, that you, how like narcissistic do you have to be, right? Like, think about the concept of the show, The 13 Reasons Why. It was a girl, she killed herself. I think she was like getting made fun of at school because like somebody like raped her or something like that. And she was like, I can't live no more. And she fucking like killed herself. So she does that, right? But before she did it, she had this whole miraculous plan. She's like, I'm going to record all these audio tapes. I'm going to make this like whole cryptic little like scavenger hunt that my friends got to do. I'm going to hide the tapes in all these weird ass places, right? And then when they hear all the tapes back, they'll know exactly why I ended up offing myself. They'll put together the pieces of the puzzle, you know? Imagine thinking that. Like, if you think that highly of yourself, like you think to yourself, I'm going to leave all these tapes, it's going to impact everyone's life. Everyone's going to be like all like better for it. And I'm sacrificing myself to make this message. If you thought that highly of yourself, you wouldn't have done it. You would have been like, oh shit, I got stuff to live for. I'm the shit. You know, that's like a very narcissistic thought to me. I just thought of that. Sorry, it's a very, like, we're doing a weave here. Donald Trump weave. I took you on the 13 reasons why weave. Now we're coming back. Love is an ugly asshole from Sweden, all right? He eats raw bacon, and now he's got a secret, okay? He's got a secret that he's holding from Ethan. And it's not just Love. We're going to find out who has this secret. Let's take a listen.
Should we say what happened yesterday?
What?
What happened yesterday?
What happened yesterday?
Yeah, tell me what happened yesterday.
Oh,
What, on the member stream? What you gonna do?
Nothing. We didn't do anything.
I'm confused.
Yeah. Never mind. Let's move on.
Okay.
Wait,
No,
what
that's
the fuck was this guy gonna say?
Yeah, that's not happening. We're not moving on.
I knew he was gonna say something. I knew it had to do with me.
No.
Look at Brad over here. Brad's fucking nonstop flexing, bro. Like it's like it's like locked into his subconscious to flex non-fucking stop. Like even when like he goes to the doctor and they're like, you have to relax, bro. Like if we're gonna do these tests, you have to relax. He's like, I'm totally relaxed. He's fucking like ripping his shirt. He's just constantly in a state of flex.
Oh, it has. I don't know because they did a show yesterday.
I have really good intuition. Go ahead. What happened yesterday?
I tried them yesterday.
Oh shit!
Oh, you tried the cookie?
Yeah, on the
I
show.
don't care.
And I'm just gonna speak for myself. If anyone else want to.
Ooh, look at that Love's face. Love gracing us with that face.
I don't
Hit us
care.
with that one more time, Love.
And I'm just gonna speak for myself. If anyone else want to.
Look at that, good old Love. Love hitting us with that Kanye face, that cool guy face, you know what I mean? Love is obviously the coolest fucking dude in the office. In fact, so cool, he doesn't even wait for his bacon to get fully cooked before he eats.
Everybody tried them?
Selling us out, dude. He's a fucking narc.
Bro, I can't believe you
We
guys.
couldn't resist. They looked so good. And we had 3 packs and we ate pretty much a whole pack.
There was somebody who tried the food once.
Look
we were
at
doing
that.
a taste test. Who was that?
It was me.
It was Zach.
Look,
That was.
They were just.
this is what I love so much about this time code. It's not, Ethan obviously didn't care. Like, you heard him right from the rip. Love's like, I tried the cookies. I'm fucking gay and cool and fucking... And then Ethan's like, yeah, I don't care. You guys try the cookies. It's whatever. What I like the most about this time code is, like, they sat there and all lied to Ethan. Like, they all sat there and they go like, yeah, the cookies are very good. These are, like, the great... Like, this is my first time. I've never eaten these before. They're so good. Ethan, you know what would really set these off? The milk that we had in the office that we all drank yesterday when we tried all this. That would be, that'd be something, right? If we had some milk. It'd go good with the cookies that I'm trying for the first time ever in my entire life. They all sat there and lied to this guy. Let's see if I can go back and find when they're like first open up the cookies. They all sat there. They go like, yo, these cookies are like fire, bro. Like, I want to see. Look, can we find it? If we can't, we're moving on. But it's just so funny. They're sitting there all lying. They're like, these cookies are busting, bro.
Yeah, it does.
It's funny though. It's so funny.
I gotta
bro.
talk to Harley
Nah, I'd say he's dope.
to the podcast.
With an issue.
The robot.
I'm fine.
I think I've ever, like, Nell just came up to me.
Yeah, fuck it, we can. Go back and watch the episode for yourself. I just love the fact that they all sat there and lied, and were like, "Oh, these cookies are the greatest cookies. We've never tried these even once, right?" But moving on from that, we're gonna finish out the What's Eating Ethan Klein segment on this one. We're gonna check back on Love and his bacon debacle. You guys remember this? You guys remember, if you remember a couple episodes back, we covered this. Love eats raw bacon. He always assumed throughout his whole life that bacon came packaged, fully cooked. Now, as we had discussed on that episode, there are bacons out there in the world that do come edible, where you could eat them. In America, not so much the case. Pretty much 9 times out of 10, you go out and grab bacon from the store, you gotta cook the shit, right? Love's dumbass, his entire life, has been eating bacon raw. He goes to restaurants, he sees them cook the bacon. Anytime he's ever had a bacon burger, the bacon's been crispy as fuck. He still would eat it. He never put that together. In the whole 20-something years he's been alive, he's never put it together. But we're about to double back on that. We're about to check in on Love and his bacon situation. Let's take it away, Love.
Fuck.
It's a proper.
He capitalized Ethan though.
It's a proper
That's
noun.
right. He put respect.
Well, wait,
on my
why
name.
did you do that? Because you don't want to take the time to cook it, or?
No, so I just didn't know. I thought it was like red meat, where you didn't have to cook it.
He thought it was like red meat. Love thought that bacon was like red meat, where you didn't have to cook the red meat either. So now this guy is, every time he tries to like explain himself, he digs himself deeper into a hole. Like now that tells me that you've been eating raw beef your entire life. Like this is not like, unless you're Liver King, you shouldn't be doing that. And even Liver King shouldn't be doing that. Liver King is like dying. Did you know that? And even when he seemed healthy, it was all like the steroids and the crazy shit that he was taking that he was lying about not taking. You know what I mean? So it was like a ticking time bomb. Liver King was like, he had like flesh veneers on, basically. It was like all fake, and it was only a matter of time before his body like ate away at itself for all the raw meat consumption and daily chemical dosages that he was taking. You heard me, just dosages. Okay, I meant to say dosages. So Love is sitting there. Love thinks that fucking bacon is like beef. Like, you don't have to cook it like red meat. You can eat it raw. Any of you out there eating raw red meat?
You didn't know?
It's a proper
That's
noun.
right. He put respect.
Well, wait.
on my
Why
name.
did you do that? Because you don't want to take the time to cook it, or?
No, so I just didn't know. I thought it was like red meat, where you didn't have to cook it.
You gotta cook red meat.
Wait, he's the guy.
Wait, what?
Look at Brad. I love Brad's reaction to this. Watch Brad. Brad's gonna be like fucking legitimately lost here. Watch. Wait until you see this.
Where you didn't have to cook it.
You gotta cook red meat.
Wait, he's the guy.
Wait, what's happening? What's happening right now?
Oh, now they zoom in. Watch. Wait until you look. Brad is like fucking. He's like, wait, he's the one. He was the raw bacon guy. That's him. Are you serious? Like Brad's been like in a different show this whole time.
Cook red meat.
Wait, he's the guy.
Wait, what's happening? What's happening right now? This is like a paper towel situation.
Like medium rare, right?
Yeah,
I
but
never
that's
ate
cooked.
raw bacon.
That's slightly undercooked.
That's rare, bro. That's
medium rare is cooked.
Yeah,
Wait, so that's the guy who
yeah.
eats raw bacon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
the
guy,
guy that whipped your ass.
your competitor.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Your interlocutor.
That's crazy.
No, obviously, I didn't know it
Bradley's
was
gonna
as
use
bad
this
as
against
chicken.
you. No.
Yeah, it's why you can't
I didn't
win.
know. I didn't know.
But you're saying it tastes very good raw.
I never ate it raw. I just cooked it briefly. And then I took a piece and I ate it, and then I finished cooking it.
Okay.
So I was snacking on it throughout the cooking process, not knowing it was bad.
Very early in the cooking process.
That's still raw, bro. Like, just because you didn't take it out the package and slop it like a fucking string of spaghetti, it's still raw, bro. You didn't eat it fully cooked. It's raw. Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, Love, just wait the 5
Look,
seconds.
and now they're about to read a post on Reddit from a fucking like a parasite doctor that explains all the shit that Love could have got from his parasitic endeavors. Let's give it up for good old Love and the H3 crew. You know, Love and that bacon, dude. Good old Love and that bacon. So we're about to transition into the next segment. Let's play a couple tunes and spark up a J. You know what I'm saying? You know? So, as always, I'd like to thank you for joining me on yet another episode of Lost Aux Media. Be sure to catch up and stay up to date with all things Lost Aux Media at lostaux.media. That's Lost AUX.media. There you can buy merch to support the show. Follow us on all of our socials, or you can catch up on episodes, as sometimes YouTube likes to block them due to copyright situations. And as always, you can call into the show. That's going to be area code 316-396-0025. There you can leave voicemails that could potentially get listened to on the show. If you want some advice, you could leave your message anonymously. You want to talk some shit. You want to just tell me how much you dislike the show, how much you like the show, or if you just got something funny to say, maybe you want to get something off your chest, who knows? Call into the show and we'll take a listen to it. That's 316-396-0025. Let's spark up this J, listen to some tunes, and get into the next segment.
You can't seem to find the meaning to life,
we should do a little finger on the pulse segment. This is a new segment idea that I've decided to introduce into the show. Pretty self-explanatory coming from the title. This is going to be a segment where we just try to keep our finger on the pulse, you know, on things happening in the world, or at least things happening in my world. Online, of course, as always, you know. I'm not going to tell you guys about my actual life. What do I look like? Fucking Alex Cooper? I'm not going to tell you guys that bitch is as fake as it gets anyway. She's not telling you about her. If you think Alex Cooper is genuine, I mean, how led astray are you? You know what I mean? Like, let's not get crazy. But this is going to be the finger on the pulse segment. So, we're going to start this one out with our favorite Jew, Mr. Dave Portnoy. You guys, you know how much I love Dave, you know? And it's kind of sad because, like, lately, this guy's, like, really been fucking falling off. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, go. Genius timing. I shut the music off, like, right as I'm about to take my last hit of the J, right? So I can give you guys just a little bit of dead air, just a smidge of dead air. But, yeah, so like I was saying, you guys know how much I like Dave. And it's kind of sad because lately my man's been, like, falling off. It's like ever since that fuck the Jews sign in his bar, the guy has been, like, completely losing his way. Like, whatever happened to, like, the fun, retarded Dave that just, like, lets the shit go, man? It's like, it's really nothing. It's nothing on my life, you know? Hey, sold my company for $100 million, bought it back for $1. You know what? I'm living life. You know what I mean? It's like every time he wants to make a point, he always talks about that. Bought my business back for $1. It's like, okay, shove it up your ass. Who cares? And he's like making this whole like stigma around himself due to this. You know, you guys also remember we covered that clip of him basically embarrassing the fuck out of his employee, all because his employee wanted to have a guest on the show that made a Jew joke toward Dave online. So now, Mr. Rapey Pizzas is saying that you can't make jokes about Jews. This is kind of funny, right? This is interesting. And this actually is a side note from what I actually have for the finger on the pulse segment. But since we're about to be on the topic of Dave, I gotta say this little piece. It's like, did you guys know? Like, and I'm sure if you're somebody who's been on the internet for, you know, the last 10 years, you probably already know this, but let me refresh you just in case you don't, because this has to do with Dave's current situation. Did you guys know that Dave is kind of like known as like the rape joke guy online? Did you know that? Please allow me to explain myself. So apparently, like, way back when Barstool was like first starting, like Dave was like fairly young when this was happening, a lot younger than he is now. There was some sort of like thing happening in the world where I think like a young woman got raped, or like she got like killed and raped or something along those lines. And Barstool was writing blogs making jokes about this woman's rape. Oh, yeah. They were hilarious. I was laughing at all of them. You know? I was dying. Okay? They were the funniest fucking blogs I've ever read. And all of these jokes being in there, they made headlines. Because people were not cool with that. They go, yo, bro, you can't just make these kind of jokes online. And Dave made waves in the media because Dave was the owner of a company that was making a stance saying, no, we can. Because we have freedom of speech. We're not breaking any laws by making these jokes. And we think that they're funny. So you don't have to like them. But unfortunately, you're going to have to live with them because that's our protected right. And a lot of people really liked Barstool for that fact. The fact that they stood up for themselves. You don't have to agree with the joke, but you can agree with the freedom to make the joke, right? And a lot of people liked Dave for that. But to all of his haters, that's what he was known by. Infamous for, in a sense, right? So now, you can't go from being the rape joke guy, right, to then being the guy who goes, hey, you made a joke about Jews last week, and I happen to be a Jew, off limits, but hey, We don't do that here at Barstool. No, you can't do that. You're either the rape joke guy who is all about free speech, or you're the guy who censors his employees on the certain things that they certain things that they say. You know, Kirk made a big point about that. He goes, where does the line stop, Dave? If we can't make those kind of jokes, maybe we shouldn't make jokes about priests and children. You know, you were the rape joke guy. Maybe we shouldn't make those kind of jokes either. Maybe we shouldn't make jokes at all. He goes, Dave, where do you draw the line if you're going to draw that line for Jews? You know, and that was a good point. And, you know, ever since that point was made, ever since those clips about Dave came out, a lot of people have been on Dave's shit. And I've been loving every second of it. Wait until I show you this clip right here. So, people are now getting on Dave Portnoy for lying about his height. This is the funniest fucking shit I've ever seen. And it makes it even funnier because Dave is getting so pissed off about people making fun of him, right? Now, I said this in the last episode. Did you show that weakness? The hyenas are going to exploit it, you know? Internet haters, they're the hyenas, man. You're showing weakness. That's going to be the spot that they go for. You know, and if they think that spot's not starting to work anymore, they're going to try to create a new one. And this is what's happening here. They're fucking with Dave about lying about his height online. And he tries to deny it. Oh, he tries to deny it. Watch this clip. This is solid gold.
One of the most diabolical things I found out today is not that Dave Portnoy is 5'10", he may be shorter. These pictures going around every time he's standing on his tippy toes. Even in older pictures,
look at that.
He is standing full leg extension, adding 3 inches to his height. Like even
hey yo, what the fuck?
Next to a guy that is 5'4".
Look,
bro,
Dave standing next to a jockey is the only picture where he's not on his tippy toes. Look at that. We got to go back. You got to check out the legwork on these. If you're just listening at home, this guy is doing the greatest expose in TikTok history. Because it's clear by the way that this faggy edit is put together that this is a TikTok video, right? I hate when people do this, like floating head shit. They're like, yo, man, the head's over here, and then all of a sudden it's over here in the corner, and they're like, this is the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen. And it's like the most basic edit. It's got 10 million fucking likes on it. I never understood that. How am I going to edit out that burp? Anyway, those of you listening at home, dude, this guy, this expose right here, he's got multiple pictures of Dave Portnoy taking pictures with people standing on his tippy toes. That's insecurity at its finest, if you ask me. No wonder this guy doesn't want people making jokes about Jews. I wouldn't want people making jokes about anything if I was so insecure that I had to stand on my tippy toes to take pictures with other men. You know, I'm 5'3". Like, I'm the same height as Joe Rogan. Okay? I'm shorter than fuck. I'm taking pictures with people. I'm hugging their waists like that, you know? I take a picture with the guy that's 6'2". My arms are around his thighs like that. I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? It's like I'm taking selfies with his balls, all right? Like, that's how short I'm not ashamed by it. I've never stand on my tippy toes to take a picture with another man.
10, he may be shorter. These pictures going around every time he's standing on his tippy toes. Even in older pictures, he is standing full leg extension, adding 3 inches to his height. Like even
full
here,
leg
he's
extension.
Standing next to a guy that is 5'4". Like, bro, he might actually be 5'4" or 5'5". This comes after he broke Twitter yesterday by berating one of his employees, belittling him and telling him to shut up because he works for him and calling him unexplainable names. Even Des Bryant had to chime in and said basically that he's an awful person for talking to his employee like.
I love how that's his point. He goes, even Des Bryant had to say that, like, Dave is, like, crazy for, like, his talking. But it's like, who the fuck is Des Bryant? Who's Des Bryant and why would anybody care about him? and his opinion on Dave Portnoy. Like, is that really people's like justification points? Like, this sounds like Hassan Piker and Ethan Klein having a debate with each other. Hassan's like, oh, well, if you listen back to the lines of Boom Boom Yahoo, Israel's evil. And then Ethan's like, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to read back from this line in history and Teddy Roosevelt. It's like every time they want to make like points of like other people's quotes and shit. It's like, who cares about what the other person said? Do you think that strengthens the point of Dave being a bitch? Dave is no more of a bitch than he has always been just because Des Bryant is fucking... Who is Des? I actually am like... This is legitimately... That like struck such a chord with me, hearing that I'm legitimately going to look up who Des Bryant is. I have no idea. Who the fuck is Des Bryant? And why do I... Football wide receiver Des Bryant. Okay. Like, we fucking care. This is the guy... Okay. I have to worry about this stupid asshole's opinion? You're kidding, right? This guy. Okay. Des Bryant, washed up wide receiver for, what was that team? Who's he play for? It's not even on here who he plays for. It's not even on here. I couldn't even tell. He's an American former professional football wide receiver. He was in the National League. The Oklahoma State Cowboys. I didn't even know the Oklahoma... Oh, that's college. Okay. Who did he play for? He played for the Ravens. Who gives a fuck? So now I'm taking... I got to take my opinion-based advice... my opinion-based shit off of Des Bryant when I'm worried about Dave tippy-toeing in his photos. That's insane to me. But it's hilarious. It's hilarious. And then look, this is the best part about this. This was a subtweet from Dave. Dave saw this video and then he subtweeted. He goes, of all the lies told about me, this is the most egregious. People are literally photoshopping me standing on my tippy toes now. Could you believe it? Davy Pizzas is getting photoshopped on his tippy toes taking photos. And this is the greatest part right here, folks. Wait, there's more. You remember that from, I think it was Scary Movie, right? I think it was like Scary Movie 1 or Scary Movie 2. One of the Wayans brothers, he's like, but wait, there's more. And that's exactly what we got here. There's a little bit more. There's a little bit more for you. Look, remember, Dave said that those were Photoshopped. Dave said those were Photoshopped photos of him standing on his tippy toes, right? Okay.
People have a couple slices. Yeah. Not really good.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Let's get a picture of you guys, if you don't mind.
I'm going tippy toes with you.
Yeah. 1, 2.
Wait, what did he just say? Listen real close. What did he just say?
Let's get a picture of you guys, if you don't mind.
I'm going tippy toes with you.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to get on my tippy toes so I can be a little taller. You heard he had all that pizza in his mouth? He's doing a one-bite pizza review on your mom's puss. You remember that? And he's going, I'm going to stand on my tippy toes. I'm going to be a little bit taller. I'm going to stand on my tippy toes. Let's listen to that one more time. I just want to make sure that I'm hearing that right.
Not really good.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Let's get a picture of you guys, if you don't mind.
I'm going tippy toes with you.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Look at that, Dave. What the fuck? Someone please call 911. Look at this. Look, watch the pan down for that. Wait, watch it pan down. Oh my God, Davey's on his tippy toes. This is caught in 4K, my friend. This is caught in 4K, my friend. Okay? I'm sorry, I hate to do it to you, bro. You busted. Okay? You remember? You guys ever watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? And they're talking about something to do with like being undercover or something like that. And Charlie's like, yeah, I'd be a great police officer. He's like, I'd just sit there and he has his coat on. And he goes, I show him my badge. I go, you busted. I look over. I go, you busted. You busted. You remember that? That's how I feel about Dave right now. You busted. Okay? You busted. Okay, we caught you. In 4K, we caught you. Standing on your tippy toes. You even said it. You said it. This isn't AI.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
I love how it pans down.
Yeah, he's tagging me.
Yeah, he's tagging me. He's tagging me. Let's give it up for good old Davy Pizzas over here. Good old Davy Pizzas over here. Gotta love old Davy Pizzas. What else we have? Oh yeah, we have Amico, the Amico disc, dude. We're gonna be listening to that on the break. Oh, let's check out this clip of Joey Swoll, right? Hey, let's calm down there, buddy. Let's calm down there, okay? Let me do some cleanup on these tabs here real quick. You know, sometimes the tabs, they get a little crazy when I'm doing the show. I'm just opening links like nonstop. I wanted to show you guys this clip of Joey Swoll over here, right? You guys familiar with this Joey Swoll character? This Joey Swoll guy, I love him. Okay, he does these videos where he like stitches people's like gym videos, and he goes, "You gotta do better." You know, people will be like doing stupid shit in the gym. He'll be like, "That's not gym etiquette. You gotta do better. You know, you gotta do better." Watch, this is Joey Swoll. This is another one of those guys. It's like Bradley Martin. He's in a constant state of flex. You know, he's about to rip that fucking Cubs jersey right the fuck off. One wrong move, and that shirt is ripped off. Look at Joey Swoll. Up. Joey Swoll with the backflip. Whoa, hey. Joey almost missed.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Joey almost losing us on that one. I love this. Let's check it out one more time. Let's look at Joey Swoll's backflip. Whoa. Joey Swoll saving it. I like that. And then his pitch. The girliest pitch ever. Look at that. Joey Swoll is like the most jacked. Like, he's actually bigger than Bradley Martin. He's the most jacked guy in the world. He throws the ball like a fucking sis. Look at this. Look at his throw. What kind of gay shit is that? Throwing like that, dude. And then he sits there and he goes, yeah. Afterwards, like, what do you? He reminds me of Bono from South Park. He's like, yeah. Look at Joey Swoll. Good old Joey Swoll. I gotta love Joey Swoll, man. Let's give it up for Joey Swoll's backflip. I want to show you guys who Joey Swoll is, because Joey Swoll, he's actually a force to be reckoned with. He's got some good shit on there, and he also happens to be a favorite of a good friend of mine named Mike David. You know, Mike David from Redbar. So I was on the phone with Redbar the other day. He's like, you gotta cover Joey Swoll on the show. My thing is, I don't typically like covering people that Mike covers. You know, I call him Mike. I'm on personal basis with this motherfucker, you know? He's my favorite Jew. My favorite Jew. Second to Dave Portnoy, of course. I'm on the phone with him. He's like, you gotta cover Joey Swoll. I say, Mike, it's been done. As a matter of fact, you did it. He goes, Elias, I'm telling you, you gotta cover it. It doesn't even matter that I did it, because it's gonna be so good when you do it, right? He goes, it's gonna be so good when you do it. Nobody's even gonna put together the fact that I did it first. That's what he said to me on the phone. So I go, okay, Mike, you have a good day. I hung up on the phone with him. He said, thank you, Elias. You have a good day, too. And then I heard Jules in the background. You know, Jules talks to this guy like he's a fucking asshole. Yeah, like, you wouldn't think that from watching the show. Like, if you watched Redbar, I'm being serious about it. If you watch Redbar, you would think that sometimes Mike treats her like shit, right? Because, like, sometimes she might, like, cut to the wrong camera or something like that. She's doing, like, 7 things at once, right? And then out of nowhere, Mike goes, cut off the music! And then when she can't do it in, like, 0.5 seconds, he starts yelling at her. And you would think that it's him. You'd think, like, you go, oh, he's the asshole, right? It's all an act. It's just for the show. Like, he's not even that big of an asshole. And 9 times out of 10, when I'm on the phone with the guy, She's in the background screaming and fucking yelling at him, calling him names and shit like that. Like the shit that I've heard her say to this guy just in the background of me having a conversation with, you low-life piece of shit. You're living off of your listeners. Without them, you'd be fucking nothing. You're a fucking kike. Because she's not Jewish. She's not Jew. Mike is Jew. She's not Jew. She rips into this motherfucker. You would never know it. You would never know it from watching the show. It's crazy. And you didn't hear that from me. Because they're very good friends of mine. And I would be heartbroken if their trust in me somehow faded away over you telling our little secret. So now watch this Joey Swoll clip. This is who Joey Swoll is. This is the guy who just did the backflip. Look, so you got a girl over here in the gym, right? This is what's happening for those of you listening at home. You got a girl over here in the gym. She's stretching, right? But of course, she's recording herself. She's a TikTok superstar. And like most of these bitches out there in the gym with these cameras and shit, she's fishing. She's stretching and sticking her ass out. She's obviously got a nice one. She's doing glutes 6 times a week. So she's all putting her ass out. She's stretching in crazy ways and the camera's there and she's nonstop looking around going, oh, which one of these guys is looking at me? Which one of these guys is looking at me right now so I can make a big deal out of it? You know? If you don't like it, work out at Curves, you fucking bitch. I'm sorry. Yeah, but it has to be said. Anyone, if this was a guy, the same thing. Get him out. What do you fucking... If a guy was dressed in a thong in the gym and then was doing yoga stretches and was staring around going, oh, which one of these guys is looking at me? Kill him. Kill him. Same thing with this girl. You come in there, yoga pants on, gluteus maximus all out and fucking dangling, and you're sitting there scanning the room for which guy is going to stare at it, right? And you're just doing nothing but presenting it on a fucking platter for... So, this shit fucking drives me nuts. I see girls like this. So I'm happy that it's about to be incoming Stitch with Joey Swoll. Watch this. And that's not even she's not even worried about like that. She's like, that's what she's scanning the room for. Watch. She's scanning the room for what she thinks are creeps, right? In her mind. And she doesn't even get pissed about that. She gets pissed about somebody walking through her camera shot.
Hi, Jim Rat here of over 20 years now. And I don't understand what's disrespectful about this video.
He doesn't understand. This is Joey Swoll. I clap extra hard for Joey Swoll because that motherfucker, like, you have to get your hands conditioned to being hit that hard. One dap from this guy creates a sonic boom. It'll blast you in the next week. So, like, you have to prep your hands. Like, I go to meet with Joey Swoll, I'm slapping a rock as hard as I possibly can for a week straight before I go and have that meeting with Joey Swoll. Because the second we go to dap, like that, fucking sonic boom, and everybody's exploding all over the place. Your hand gets all raw and red and shit. So you have to watch it. This is Joey Swoll. He's the gym rat. He's pissed. He's pissed that this bitch is getting mad over this.
Here of over 20 years now, and I don't understand what's disrespectful about this video. All I see is 2 people walking, minding their own business, trying to get to their next workout. You know what I do find disrespectful, though?
Tell us.
The fact that you posted this entitled video acting as if just because you're filming, everybody else has stopped what they're doing just for you. I'm sorry.
Tell her, Joey.
You don't own the gym. It's nobody's job to care about what you're doing or your video.
Exactly.
And what's the big deal anyway? You're filming yourself stretching. You can easily edit them out or just leave them in. Nobody watching is going to care.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, if you want to film somewhere where no one's going to walk through your video and you can do as you please, build a home gym. Train there. Until then, you need to do better.
He said it.
Mind your own business.
Told you he would say it. You need to do better. That's Joey Swoll's, man. You got to give it up for Joey Swoll's, dude. I love me some Joey Swoll. Joey Swoll. I think that'll do it for the Finger on the Pulse segment. You know what I mean? Let's take a listen to that Crack Amico joint. And speaking of joint, did I say speaking of joint? Let's do that Crack Amico. This is going to be the same song.
Shut up.
Excuse me. I'm telling you, the seltzers are fucking me up. I apologize for that, guys. It's going to be the same song that we started the show with, but this time we're going to actually get to listen to it, check out the video for it, spark up a little bit of a J, you know what I mean? It's a good time to take a little bit of a breather from the jamokes and just kind of relax a little bit. Maybe you're transitioning, you're clocking out of work right now and you're going from the job to the car. And this is the perfect time because you got a lot of things going on. You're putting all your shit in your car and stuff like that. So you're not going to be able to pay attention to what I'm saying in this transitionary moment, right? This is that moment where we put on the music and you can kind of let your mind run free for like 2.5 minutes, smoke a J, do what you got to do, and then we get back into the jamokes. This is going to be Dave Portnoy Diss by Crack Amico. Take it away, Crack.
Don't tell me to shut up.
Shut the fuck up, you bald fuck. Oh, big boss man, don't tell. I'll tell you, you work for me.
Okay, go ahead.
You
Continue.
little bitch, you work for me.
Sure, I bet. For now.
Oh, you
Continue.
don't?
Okay, continue.
You're literally saying people should be allowed to make Jew jokes, say whatever they want. Why you fucking now?
Yes, I think people should be allowed to make jokes.
So how many motherfucking Jews have to be killed before you stop?
Hey, you could joke about death, you could joke about rape, you could joke about Indians or dead babies, laughing at whatever the fuck that you wanna. Only one thing is sacred, that's Davy. Don't joke about Jews, nah. Don't joke about Jews, hey. Don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Dave. You can laugh about blacks, you can laugh about gays, you can laugh about immigrants in them cages. Joke about anything on this earth, but if it's about Jews, then you might as well save it, bitch. Don't joke about Jews, nah. Don't joke about Jews, hey. Don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Dave.
I love that. I love this. He has the fucking, this like little Jewish guy dancing on the screen. You guys seeing this? If you're at home, you need to be seeing this. I'm telling you. And everything, he's photoshopping Dave's face onto fucking Nazi soldiers. That Crack Amico, this is genius. This is comedic genius right here. This comedic genius. All it takes to rise to this level of comedic genius is a little bit of racism. Isn't that some shit, dude?
David, you are a homo, retarded shlomo, dishing what you can't take. Portnoy, the Jewish faggot, stop trying to drag it, mad at the jokes we make. El Rey's the rente is losing his mind, loading my Glock, got him screaming out 9. How about I tell you some jokes, Mrs. Portnoy, and you tell me what's over the line. All of you people controlling the media, changing the weather, controlling our minds. Hollywood pedophile lawyers and slum lords that would do anything for a dime. What if I said something that you ain't like? What if I called you a kike? What if I noticed somehow you make money whenever a colored man spits in a mic? What if I told you that Israel is evil and it's time to rise up and free Palestine? Or maybe all parties involved are retarded and things would be better if all of them died. Especially the children, I hate them the most. Raise up your glass, I'm proposing a toast in honor of freedom to make any joke even though there's a victim within every roast. You could joke about death, you could joke about rape, you could joke about Indians or dead babies, laughing at whatever the fuck that you
man, that's so funny. Such a crazy little song, man. This guy is like fucking ruthless, bro. We're about to finish this one out, dude. I don't know how much I can do on this J and still be good for the show. You guys are about to get slow-mo, Elias. Dude, let's finish out this Crack Amico joint and get back to it.
Don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Jews, don't joke about...
Oh, like, see, there we go. There we go. What are you guys fucking laughing about?
Terrible.
What are you guys fucking laughing about? You remember that? We covered that clip last week. Well, you guys, hey, I'm fucking down fucking beat your 13-year-old asses. You fucking laughing at that? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Oh, Dave Portnoy, man. That's so funny. This is what I said, dude. This is exactly what I said. As soon as you show a little bit of weakness, these hyenas, they're going to come for you, bro. And they're going to go straight for that Achilles heel. And we all know now, Dave, for you, it's when we talk about the Jews. Now, let's get into this next segment. I wanted to show you guys this Jordan Jensen, right? You guys familiar with this comedian, Jordan Jensen? A female comedian by the name of Jordan Jensen, of course. She has a podcast with another comedian named Ian Fidance, and the podcast is Being Ian with Jordan. Ironically enough, in my opinion, I feel like the podcast started as just Being Ian, and then Ian realized that he sucked and couldn't do a podcast by himself. And then he had, oh, Jordan, can you please join the show? You know, please? And then she joins, and then he goes, all right, we'll call it Being Ian with Jordan. We'll just add you at the end, you know, because that's how we did it. We added you at the end, you know. So that's how I feel like that show came about. Very interesting, though. Jordan was never really on my radar for much. I just, nothing about her stood out to me, or so I thought. I thought that nothing would stand out to me. I ended up catching wind of this Jordan Jensen by seeing her on podcasts like Your Mom's House. Or no, I don't think she was ever on Your Mom's House. I saw her on we're about to cover on We Might Be Drunk. I saw her on a couple different podcasts beforehand. And, of course, on Being Ian with Jordan. But nothing had stood out to me. On this episode of We Might Be Drunk, I found out that she was having a Netflix special that was coming out very soon. Now, I got curious because I go, oh, okay, well, these are like the up-and-comers, right? They're getting their Netflix special. Let me do a little bit of a deep dive. And after doing some digging and listening to some stuff with Jordan Jensen, I ended up finding out a pretty wild fact about her. Something about her that, in my opinion, nobody should know. But for some reason, she's cool with just saying this shit into a mic, completely recorded on the internet, no hose barred, doesn't care about anybody else involved in this situation. I'm being vague on purpose because when you find out about this, it's going to fuck you up. Listen to this.
My friend my sister's boyfriends, I thought they were my boyfriends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'd come over and be like, hi, and I'd be like, we're
actually
married.
hooked up with the best friends of both of my sisters.
Whoa.
No way. Different.
Oh, that's awesome. How far apart in man age?
So my older sister's 2 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
And my younger sister is 3, 4 years younger.
Yeah, so
but I was out of college. She was in college, the younger one. And the older one, we were also in college. So it was like that age range. Like,
wow, I got you beat. I hooked up with my stepbrother.
You hooked up with...
Wait a minute. Hold up. You weren't expecting that, were you? You weren't expecting that. This bitch actually fucked her stepbrother, bro. I heard that. I was like, yo, I thought that shit only happened on like Brazzers, you know, from what I hear. I wouldn't know. I've never watched Brazzers. I've never watched a single one out of their whole, I don't know, 20,000 video catalog. I've never watched one. Okay. But yeah, I thought that was just something in pornos that happened. Girls fuck their stepbrothers. It's like, yo, we're not related, right? We could do this in the porno, and the stepsister's all hot. She's got like giant tits. She's like somehow 35, and the stepson's like fucking 18. You know, they got to be legal for the porns, right? Somehow the dude is like 18. The stepsister is like 35. She has the hugest tits you've ever seen. They're fake, you know? And then like in the scene, they go, oh, we just got home from high school and mom and dad are gone for a little while. What should we do together? Should we just like hang out, watch a movie, Netflix and chill maybe? Like that's how these things start. You know, but I never envisioned that happening in real life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Do anyone at home know anybody like that? You know anybody that actually fucked like their step sibling? And that's like, it's crazy because it's like not incest, but it's kind of incest, right? Like, it's like you know that person. It's like if I had an adopted sister, I wouldn't fuck her because she wasn't like my real sister. I'd be like, you know what I mean? That's not how that works. You can't do that. I said, no. You like share the same bathroom with that person at like 11? You know what I mean? It's like, no, dude, you can't do that. Now listen, this is gonna get worse. And somehow you think, oh, well, how can it get any worse? She already fucked her stepbrother. It gets worse.
That age range, like.
Wow, I got you beat. I hooked up with my stepbrother.
You hooked up with your stepbrother?
Yeah. My mom married his mom.
Your mom married his mom.
Yes.
And you guys hooked up how long into your knowing each other? 12.
That wasn't 12.
You know, you know what's fucking funny? Hold on. Look, she's sitting here talking about fucking her stepbrother, right? And I'm looking at her face, and I'm like, hold on, let's go like just back like 2 frames, like right there, right? And I'm looking at her, I'm like, yo, Jordan Jensen's fucking like weird looking, right? I'm like, so I could only imagine what this stepbrother looked like. He looked like fucking Martin Phillips from fucking Kill Tony. He's like, oh, hey, Jordan, you want to have sex or what? You know what I mean? And Jordan's like, yeah, man, but her eyes all closed, looking all weird as shit. But this is why this is so funny to me, this frame in particular. Let's go back like just a little bit. Look at Jordan's like graphic. This is like the logo for the show. I look at this logo and I'm like, dude, Jordan's eyes looking puffy as a motherfucker in that goddamn logo. You know, she looks crazy in that logo. Her cheeks are all insane. They're making her look like her cheeks are all bony and shit. It's like this whole thing is making her eyes look like all puffy and crazy and weird. And I thought like, oh, it's just the logo. But then whoa, how did we do that? I think like, oh, it's just the goddamn logo. You know what I mean? It ain't. It's more than just the logo.
Mom married his mom.
Watch her face. She fucking, it's more than just the logo, bro. Watch.
20.
You're 20, but how long have you guys known each other?
A long time.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah. Like since I was 12. Yeah.
Oh, and then was it, wow.
Look, of course, I ended up ruining that by user error.
12.
That was.
There it is. There's that frame right there that I wanted. Look. That looks just like the logo. Look, where's the logo at? There's the logo. There's real Jordan. Logo. Jordan. Logo. Jordan. It looks the same. Okay, it looks exactly the same. Now listen, this is where it gets worse. It gets worse when you find out how long they had known each other before fucking.
12. I was 20.
You're 20, but how long have you guys known each other?
A long time.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah. Like since I was 12. Yeah.
Oh, and then was it, wow.
Yeah.
And you guys had lived together all this time and everything?
No, I went to college.
Off and on.
Yeah, off and on.
Look, she goes, no, I went to college. That's insanity. Okay? If you knew him since you were 12, that means that you lived with him for at least 6 years. You went through the entire high school experience with this guy. Now, here's the thing. In regular adult years, right, 6 years is nothing. When you're fucking 12, 6 years is half your life. When you're 18, graduating out of high school, 6 years is a third almost of your life. No, it actually is a third of your fucking life. So, like, that's like you might as well live with him forever at that point before fucking him. And then she goes, no, I went to college. I went to, like, community college where I moved out and lived with, like, a roommate 2 blocks away. And then we would see each other on, like, the weekends at family events. And the whole time I wanted to fuck him. And then finally I got him drunk at, like, a funeral. And I fucked the shit out of him. Like, this is like crazy. She goes, no, we lived on and on. You lived with him. You grew up with him. Your parents were raising the both of you together.
Like since I was 12. Yeah.
Oh, and then was it, wow.
Yeah.
And you guys had lived together all this time and everything?
No, I went to college.
Off and on.
Yeah, off and on.
Was he older or younger?
Yeah, older.
And was it a one-time thing?
One time.
That was it?
Yeah, just a one time.
Yeah. Where do you take
That's
the
not true.
dog to get a haircut? To the what?
To the
groomer.
The groomer, yeah.
Now look, in this clip, she says, "Oh, I fucked him just the one time." Other clips, I should have saved those time codes. I've seen her in other podcasts where she's like, if he walked into this room right now, I'd fuck the shit out of him. It wasn't just one time, bro. This girl is like, she's waiting. She's waiting for her to hit rock bottom, and she has to move back in with mom. Because you know he's still there. You know he's still there.
Walked into that.
So did I.
Was it memorable?
She was groomed.
It was memorable because I was like a little fat mall goth for so many years, and he was the hottest dude ever. So that's like my fantasy. I was like 12, and he was like whatever, 17
He
or
had a
something.
skateboard and baggy
Yeah,
jeans.
it was so hot, and then finally I get to be of age. It's like consummating it. Finally, it's like
It's like consummating it, she says. She like envisioned this stepbrother of hers as like a husband. She's like, one day I'm a frick him, and then we're going to get married. We're going to, just like our mom and dad did, we're going to get married together. She was a fat goth who dreamed about fucking her stepbrother on the reg. That is insanity. And then to talk about it like this as an adult and go, that's how we finally consummated it. Like, what are you, insane?
So hot, and then finally I get to be of age. It's like consummating it. Finally, it's like getting the. So yeah, it was memorable in that way.
But like next morning, you were just like,
it was immediate high five afterwards. Went back downstairs, didn't say shit to our moms, and just like ate family dinner or whatever.
Dude, this girl is a actual psychopath, bro. She fucks her stepbrother, and then they just go downstairs and just eat dinner with their two lesbian moms. I forgot that the stepbrother wasn't even. That's probably what triggered this whole goddamn thing. I forgot that it was the stepbrother's mom and Jordan's mom that ended up getting together and marrying each other. No dad in the picture. There's no JD Vance would be freaking the fuck out. He's like, you need a male figure in that house, and that's why this girl's fucking her stepbrother. There's no male figure in the house. That's what's happening here. I agree with JD Vance.
Really?
Yeah.
Footsie under the table?
No way. No, nothing.
Never
like
talked
intimate.
about it again.
No, only
Lie.
when I saw him in San Diego recently, and he came to a show with his girlfriend, and I
called him out for it, and then the girlfriend broke up with him.
Yeah.
You did?
Look, this is I gotta start listening to Being Ian with Jordan. If Ian's just because Ian's this is the thing. Ian's like bi, right? So Jordan like is like really best friends with this guy, and she tells him everything. And because he's like kind of gay, he has no problem being like a little bit sassy and kind of like outing her and shit. You know what I mean? I fucking love that. It's like you can see Jordan doesn't want to answer him as like candidly as Ian's making it, like making her have to, right? Like without Ian there, she'd be sugarcoating this whole goddamn thing. She would make it seem like it was like the most harmless thing. She'd be trying to like soften the blow for this whole thing, and Ian's back there just, no, this is how it went down, and it's fucking grimy.
Only when I saw him in San Diego recently, and he came to a show with his girlfriend, and I
called him out for it, and then the girlfriend broke up with him.
Yeah.
You did?
You notice that? She goes, I didn't. And then he finishes his sentence, and she's like, fuck. Well, he already outed me. And she's like, yeah, that is what I did. So Jordan sees that her stepbrother has this girlfriend that he likes a lot. She probably gets jealous, and she wants to fucking ruin it. Look at this shiesty bitch. This is probably how she was looking over at them, too. She's looking over at the two of them like, this motherfucker, he's got a girlfriend, and she's actually hot. And now I have to sit there and think about fucking him, and he's fucking her? I think not. Now Jordan's got it in her head. She goes, yeah, I'm going to fuck this relationship up. What better way to fuck it up by basically telling this girl that her boyfriend is like 1 degree away from incest? That'll fuck it up. I mean, I couldn't think of a better way to fuck up an entire relationship. Take it away, Jordan.
Friend and I
called him out for it, and then the girlfriend broke up with him.
Yeah.
She did? She home wrecked her own home.
And the girl broke up with him after learning that?
Yeah.
How long have they been together?
Years.
No, like a year.
A year.
You destroyed that relationship.
She says that as if a year is like not a big deal. A year's like that's like the relationship starting to go somewhere. You know what I mean? Like a year, that's like I mean, some people move in after a year. You know, that's like it's not it's not crazy long ass time, but like that's the ball is rolling at that point. You know what I mean? Like we're kind of getting into it now.
I said it on stage, and then I guess somebody who was there with them like listens to the podcast and was like, "Hey, just so you know," because I guess I went like this. This is classic because if somebody tells me not to do something, I do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I fucked my stepbrother. No, I didn't. I was kidding. And I guess somebody.
This girl.
I was like, yeah, I had sex with him, and I was like, I'm just kidding. And then, but I like almost had to say it. And then a girl that has seen the podcast was like, hey, just so you know, she did. And then they broke up after they drove me back to my hotel.
They drove you back? You were in the car with them? I didn't know that.
In silence.
In silence. No talk.
Look, I hate seeing this is wild. The story is wild, right? But I'm sorry. Ian is like taking me out of it. I hate seeing him in this profile. This is like, I looked like this like 2 weeks ago when I had my mustache. This was like me. You don't see it? Side profile. Look at that. If I had it still, you'd be like, that's Ian Fidance. That I'm watching Ian Fidance.
In the car. After the show, so while I'm on stage, the girl's like, by the way, they really did have sex. And then after the show, Tyler's like, okay, we'll see. And I'm like, hey, can you guys give me a ride? And I'm sitting and I'm like, this is weird.
Were you sitting in the middle back seat?
Yeah, it was a truck. I was sitting between them.
And is she looking at you saying?
No, she's like, that was a really good show. You did really good. And I was like, okay, well, thanks for coming.
And he never says anything to you after this? Like even after, did he text you? Or
yeah. He texted immediately. He was like, she flipped out. Fuck her.
Okay.
She flipped out. Fuck her. She flipped out. Fuck her. You want to like have some sex? To, you know, this bitch ain't in the picture no more, so.
No, he was like,
Well, I mean, I don't
he was
know.
like, it's so whack that's like, he was totally level headed. He was like, it's crazy that that's a deal breaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
that you and I had everyone's porno search happen in real life. Yeah.
Come on.
This is her brother. Her stepbrother said it. And my girlfriend's fucking nuts that the fact that I fucked you, you know, and our parents were married, you know, that's like that's like the real pain point of this whole thing. You know, the fact that you're my stepsister really kind of threw her off a little bit, you know, fuck that bitch. So let's give it up for good old Jordan Jensen fucking her brother. You gotta love that, dude. So what do we end this episode on? There's 2 sets of time codes. I got more Jordan Jensen on We Might Be Drunk, and then I got Tony Hinchcliffe on Story Wars. I don't know. It's like I almost want to put up a poll, right? But you guys, we're not live. This is a premiere. Actually, it's not. I stopped doing the premieres. I can't keep wasting. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot keep. It's not wasting my time hanging out with you guys during the premieres, but it's like there's like 10 of us in there. 2 of us are talking. 1 of them is me. And it's like, I kind of can't, you know what I mean? I could do other stuff for the show with that time. So no more premieres. We're just going to stick with uploading the episodes, clips, and shorts. Thank you very much. I think we're going to end this episode on Tony Hinchcliffe on Story Wars. Let's give that a listen, yeah? Good old Tony Hinchcliffe on a Story Wars. Now, this is going to be an interesting one, right? Because, for one, we're seeing Tony outside of his element, right? You don't usually see Tony outside of the Kill Tony the Mothership too much, right? So we're going to see Tony a little bit outside of his element here. Excuse me, guys. I'm in the middle of something. We're going to see Tony a little bit outside of his element here. But on top of that, Tony was at Kid Rock's house drinking all day before the show. He almost didn't show up to this motherfucker. So he's drunk all day over at Kid Rock's house, and then he comes over to do Story Wars. The guy's kind of wasted, you know? And he kind of just makes an ass out of himself the whole time. We love that. But before we actually get to Tony, we got to get through the rest of the intros, which, of course, get ruined by bad timing. This is Story Wars, of course. You know, Luis J. Gomez has the most cracked up production team that money could buy. Like, I'm telling you, if you need producers that are guaranteed to fuck up the job every single time, hire anybody from Gas Digital. Pay them double, and then you'll get them on your team. You'll get hiccups in every single aspect of the production process. Check this out.
Amazing panel of contestants tonight on Story Wars. Let's get it fucking going and bring them out here right now, everybody. Our first contestant, you know him from his special on YouTube, Uncancelable. Make some noise for the hilarious David Lucas.
Look, Lewis does the point. David.
Or so we thought.
David,
dun, dun, dun.
Where are you?
Dun, 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 dun.
David.
There he is. Yeah.
There he goes. Fat boy.
Yes, sir. And our second contestant.
Dave has to move every single chair in the building just to get to his spot. Look at how wide. David Lucas has got to be the widest nigga in comedy, bro. I'm telling you. Look at this motherfucker.
Yes, sir. And our second contestant, you might know her from Kill Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, clap it up for Valerie Vaughn.
Valerie Vaughn. Another late one.
They're very slow on the left-hand
Valerie
side of the room.
coming out.
I don't know what's happening.
Not
over there.
yet.
This claps just stopped.
Valerie Vaughn.
You knocked her drink over? On her?
There she is, guys. Yeah.
Look at Dave Lucas. This is Dave Lucas is telling fucking Big J. I'll play that again in a second. Why they're coming out late. Dave goes, I spilled her drink all over her. So like we were trying to like fix that, and you guys started introducing us. Watch, look at Dave.
This claps just stopped.
Valerie Vaughn.
You knocked her drink over? On her?
And then Dave, look, he goes, you knocked it over or on her, right? Big J says to Dave. Dave's dumbass. He doesn't even, he's like, huh? What'd you say? It's like, you just got done saying it to me, motherfucker. What do you mean?
On.
You knocked her drink over? On her?
There she is, guys.
Yeah.
Valerie Vaughn finally coming out 45 minutes
what a
later.
Piece of shit, but that was a fantastic whistle.
That was me.
This is Valerie Vaughn. I don't even know. Like, I don't know if she's a comedian. I think Valerie is like one of the girls that comes out with like that. What's the one girl that the hot blonde that comes out all the time? And Tony's always like, oh my God, it's not Valerie. It's somebody else. I forget the bitch's name, but I think she's one of like the girls that like helps fix the mics and is just there to be hot over at Kill Tony. I don't know if she's like one of the comedians.
I mean, was it?
That was me, yeah.
Do it again? That sounded better the first time.
Shut the fuck up.
Valerie, thank you so much for joining
Introduce
us.
the
Our third
guest.
contestant, last but not least, from the show Kill Tony. Make some noise for the one and only Tony Hinchcliffe, everybody.
Look at Tony. Of course, Tony's on time. Or so you think. Look at this guy. Look, Tony cannot just like not let something be about him for like 2 seconds. He's a guest on this show. And he's doing the whole Kill Tony intro.
I wish they were as excited to see us. Jesus Christ. You fucking pieces of shit.
It's because you suck.
They barely clapped when we came out here.
We got to do this, dude. We should start doing this when we come out. Hey, everyone, welcome to Story Wars. Hose us down with your cum of adoration.
bunch of blow hanging out of my nose.
It's all right, dude. Showbiz, man.
Now listen, look, Tony loves a good opportunity to shit on someone else's success because it's not the same as his, right? When it's completely unwarranted. Like, it'd be one thing if someone was trying to, like, flex their money or something like that and doing it in, like, an asshole way in front of him or to him, directed towards him, right? And then his response would be like, well, actually, I'm a lot more successful than you, so why don't you calm it down, bud? Like, why don't you chill on that? No. Tony doesn't like to do it like that. Tony just likes to do it out of nowhere. He likes to just make sure that everybody in the room knows that he is the most successful person there. He has the most money. And if it has to do with comedy or a live show, he wants you to know that his has bigger numbers, is in bigger venues, and more people watch it. He has to make sure that you know that. Now, you're going to watch him do this unprompted, okay? Like Andrew Tate says, unprompted, okay?
I have a bunch of blow hanging out of my nose.
It's all right, dude. Showbiz, man. People
Good
get
to be
it.
here. I'm glad you. Thank you guys so much for having me. You know, I filmed Netflix Kill Tony, 12 years in the making. This week it comes out at midnight. I sold out
Fuck
2
yeah.
Bridgestone arenas here in Nashville, but man, being at Story Wars on a Sunday night in the closet connected to Zanies is the highlight. It's the highlight of my week because this is what it's about. It's
Watch
about
this guy.
the roots. It's about the grits and the gravy of comedy.
Bro, who the fuck is you, man? Who is this guy? And you know what's fucked up? Luis J. Gomez, the Puerto Rican water snake. I stole that joke from someone in my comments. Look him up. Yeah, the Puerto Rican water snake over here, Luis J. Gomez. Normally, this guy is like an asshole every chance he gets. Luis will fight you. He will genuinely fight you. Like, he doesn't care. Okay? Why isn't he telling Tony to shut the fuck up and sit down? It's his show, right? He should. I would look up at Tony and I would go, hey, do me a favor. Sit your ass down. We have a show to catch. We can only use this space for so long, right? You know how that works, right? Right? Okay. Then shut the fuck up. Sit down. We have a show to do. Let's get on with it. When we need something from you, we'll ping you, bud. Okay? Until then, shut your fucking skinny, big-lipped, faggoty ass up and let us get on with it. No. They sit back. Why? Why do they do that? Because they don't want to ever ruin their chances of getting on Kill Tony. They will let Tony walk all over them, stomp on their nuts in front of everybody on stage, just so that they can have a chance to get on Kill Tony later on. Luis, he's been on the show more than any other guest. That's because when the show was nothing, Luis had nothing going on, and he was on it every goddamn week.
It's not all about the big Netflix deals and arenas. This is where it all starts, is in tiny cavernous rooms, just like we started Kill Tony in the belly room 12 years ago.
Oh, shut the fuck. This guy sucking is give it up for Tony, man. I ain't never seen nobody suck their own dick the way Tony sucked his own dick, man. That shit good right there. Now watch, look, Tony's been on a little bit of a racist kick lately with these jokes, right? And it's funny, we actually talked not that long ago about one of his racist jokes towards Mr. Lucas right here, and Mr. Lucas happens to be here. You think Tony's gonna miss out on an opportunity to drop a nice little racist banger for David Lucas? I think not.
When I was 10 years old, I ruined my family's trip to Disney World by crying and freaking out so much that we had to leave after only an hour.
Tony, you're going to draw it.
There you go.
Tony just wrote N-word on the...
Hey, yo, what the
So your
fuck?
early guess is David Lucas.
Tony hears that story. He writes N-word on the card. N-word. That's nice. I like that. And look at his face. He's so satisfied. He's like, thank God David Lucas is my friend so I can make black jokes. You know, without a guy like David Lucas, it might be real hard for a dude like me to make racist jokes like this. You know, I like it. This girl's cleavage is fucking my whole entire life up, bro. I'm telling you, it's ruining my night. It's fucking me up. Girls with cleavage like this, fuck my whole shit up. Because it's like, your cleavage should not like separate at the top, right? Like there shouldn't be like a gap in there. You know who else has cleavage like this? Is Lauren Conrad has cleavage like this. Now Lauren Conrad, first date, baby, on YMH. First date, I can't wait. And she has cleavage like this. Your cleavage shouldn't separate at the top, especially when you're wearing like a bra that's fucking smushing everything together. If I had like Spanx underwear on, right? And my ass cheeks were getting smashed together by how tight the Spanx were, right? I feel like it would be like an issue if my ass cheeks still had like a gap of space, but they should be smushed. Okay? Just like that. The cleavage is in the bra. The bra should be pushing those two boobs together to where they're touching each other. You know what I mean? Is the bra loose? Is that what's happening? I don't know. Because I'm not a woman. The genuine question, is the bra loose? Is that what's causing it? Is she wearing an ill-fitting bra and that's what's causing this little of cleavage happening here? Because to me, this is wrong. Something about this is wrong, okay? Val, fix your cleavage. Okay? Fix it. Let's listen to this. Watch. Look, Tony comes in with that N-word, right? And you think like, oh, that's going to be the end of them ganging up on Dave for being black. Wrong.
Like story number 3.
Story number 3. I had an aunt named Cricket. She used to rob banks with a shotgun.
I mean, I don't want to be racist here. I mean,
what?
But every element of this story is black.
Totally computer generated.
I mean, this is going to be wonderful if it's Val.
I had an aunt named Cricket. Is the blackest sentence anybody's ever written.
That could have been the whole story. I have an aunt named Cricket.
How much more black could this story be? It's like, yo, I had an aunt named Cricket. She used to rob banks with a shotgun, and all the bankers would be like, oh, hell no.
That's pretty funny.
She was like, here, take this motherfucking bag and fill it up, motherfucker. Aunt Jemima just stole your fucking money, bitch.
That's the only name that would have been blacker.
Only slightly blacker version of this story.
Bro, I know this.
I thought Rob Banks was somebody's name.
Now, see, they're all making a lot of black jokes here. The story is, I had an aunt named Cricket. She used to rob banks with a shotgun. Now, that's some good homegrown racism right there. You know, to automatically assume that was a black person. Because for one, black people don't even fuck with shotguns. I'll tell you that right now. If it ain't a Glock with a goddamn switch and an extended mag, they don't want it. This is what are we talking about here? There's nothing black about this story. Shotgun is a white man's gun. Everybody knows that. It's a white man's gun. You know? Hispanics, they don't even fuck around with shotguns. It's like, what are we talking about? This is the least black sentence I've ever heard in my entire life.
David Lucas, please just defend this here, because I mean, there's.
Bro, first of all, Cricket is a southern white name.
No, stop it.
If you're from the South, you know Cricket is for white people.
Look, and now Dave bringing out a very good point here. I never thought I would live in a world where I was on David Lucas's side for anything. David is a southern boy. David, or is he? I don't know. He has that fishing show, right? I feel like if you fish, you're from the South. Like if you know how to fish, you're just automatically a southern boy to me. You know, you could be born and raised and the tip of New York City. As the second you learn how to fish, you're a Southern boy to me. To me, I'm gonna look at you like a Southern boy. Dave Lucas has that podcast where he's fishing all the time, so he's a Southern boy. He would know, and he tells them Cricket ain't a black fucking name. That's a Southern white person's name is Cricket. I would know because I know how to fish.
I mean, moon crickets, it's a whole thing that people say.
Lewis.
What?
You are kind of right because Jimmy the Cricket was a nigga.
Alabama wide
Listen,
receiver.
this could be Lewis deflecting hard because Lewis comes from real trash garbage himself.
Don't be that way, Jay. You also come from trash garbage.
But
What does
not
cricket
criminals.
translate to in Spanish?
Cricket?
Cucaracha.
No,
It's
that's
always
cockroach.
cucaracha.
That's a
I know this
cockroach.
shit sound like some shit my auntie would do, but she ain't did this.
Your Aunt Cricket didn't do this?
See that sentence, the way he said that? I know this seems like something my auntie did do, but she didn't do this. She ain't do this. That right there kind of takes away, like it takes the credibility out of your argument. Because you almost had me when you said Cricket is actually a Southern white name. I was on your side. And then you said that shit. You go, I know this seems like something my auntie would do, but I'm telling you, she ain't do this. The way you say that, I feel like she did that shit.
No, that's
It's always
cockroach.
cucaracha.
That's a
I know this
cockroach.
shit sound like some shit my auntie would do, but she ain't did this.
Your Aunt Cricket didn't do this?
He's like, you know, I got an auntie named Cricket, but she didn't know rob no bank.
Sure. Guilty as charged on the...
I got an auntie Cookie. I don't got an auntie Cricket.
Black ants and crickets both make noise in movie theaters. So
And if I would have wrote this, it would have been A-N-T, because that's Aunt Cricket, not Aunt Cricket. That's white. Aunt Cricket?
No, Aunt's black.
No, it's not. Auntie.
Oh, auntie.
Auntie Cricket.
No, I don't know. Auntie,
aunt
I've always
is
heard.
black.
Or auntie. We
Aunt
say
is
auntie
not
or
black.
Auntie, not aunt.
I mean, there's...
That's how you can tell that these guys grew up with no black people anywhere in sight. Like how Big J and Lewis grew up in New York and have seemed to avoid a black person until their adult years is beyond me. Because black people say aunt. They never say aunt. I grew up around a lot of blacks, all right? I should know.
If this is Val, this is the craziest story ever. There's no way.
That's fucking
Val
great.
doesn't have an Aunt Cricket.
What's your auntie's name? How many aunties you got?
I have Auntie Amber. Who else?
Okay, hang on.
These are
Slow
white
down.
names.
I have my Aunt Lee.
Aunt Sapphire. Are they all strippers?
I don't know. I have a lot.
Aunt Destiny.
My Aunt Shaniqua.
Any of your aunts start with a C?
No.
Because I'm just trying to see where Cricket would derive from. Like, why would you call an aunt Cricket?
Well, maybe she had.
She was
you know,
black.
a little.
And she was like,
little,
oh, hell
flinch, or what do they
no.
call it? A tick. Little cricket tick.
Where she rubbed her legs together and had those inner
Like
thigh
Tony
brown.
said.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
She was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
hell no.
You gotta lick it before you cricket.
Yeah.
All right, shut the fuck up, guys. I want to hear it. Was
When a
it
fat
David
person wears
Lucas?
corduroys, they sound like crickets.
Oh yeah.
Just zipping down the street. I learned that lesson young.
Yep. Sounds
I
like.
feel like there's some redneck shit.
There's
feel
no
like-
rednecks up here either.
I feel
Big
like
J's from Philly. He can have,
That's not-
like,
It's not a redneck. What are you talking about?
it feels black neck to me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Black
It was
neck.
more that. Little Jew neck, little black neck.
all my aunties are established women that have never been to jail.
What about your uncle Charles?
Charles.
You miss your Uncle Charles, y'all?
reference.
Oh, Charles. It was Uncle Charles. bro.
Yeah, this is David.
It's my Uncle Charles.
This is not.
Look, I love David finally catches on to the Bone Thugs reference. He goes, oh, he's my Uncle Charles. He's like, all of a sudden, he starts going into Bone Thugs, right? It starts taking over his body. The second that he catches wind of a Bone Thugs reference, he's my Uncle Charles. The guys see that, they go, this is Dave. He's over here fucking singing hymns and shit from fucking Bone Thugs and Heart. It's Dave.
You miss your Uncle Charles, y'all?
reference.
Oh, Charles. It was Uncle Charles. bro.
Yeah, this is David.
Look, where's my Uncle
This is
Charles?
not-
I love that. It's my Uncle Charles. He go, oh yeah, Bone Thugs.
Yeah.
Look, I love that. Oh yeah, Bone Thugs and Harmony reference. Hey, my Uncle Charles. He can't help himself. It's like how when when they make that joke online, they go, if you got to figure out who's white, all you have to do is go, Sweet Caroline, and then some white person's going to go, ba, ba, ba. You know, they make that joke in Ted. It's the same thing. You got to find a black person. You be like, hey, my Uncle Charles. And then David Luke's going to come out and be like, my Uncle Charles. They're going to be like, we got him. We got him. He's over there.
You miss your Uncle Charles, y'all?
reference.
Oh, Charles. It was Uncle Charles. Bro.
Yeah, this is David. 1,000%.
This is not
Fun
you're wasting your
conversation. Super fun conversation, everybody.
That was the shortest round we've ever done in the history of the show.
We dragged it out a little bit, honestly.
We made some jokes. Big J, that's a ridiculous answer.
Bro, this is not. You about to be mad to the motherfucker.
Tony saying
Holy
Val.
shit, Tony says Val last second.
Tony says Val last second.
Yep, I don't know much about Val, but I know that you guys don't have real families at all. And I'm
That's
going with
fair.
Val here just by process of elimination.
And Tony knows.
So look, Tony's playing like 4D fucking chess. Like I thought he was wasted hanging out at Kid Rock's house. They must have injected him with some fucking adrenochrome type shit that's got his brain working on extra high speed. You know, guys, Kid Rock, he likes him young. You know that Kid Rock. He likes him young. I'm Kid Rock. I like him young. He does. Listen to his song. What's the name of that song? Let's listen to this. I want to end the show on that Kid Rock song. I want to show you guys that.
All my family.
I might have an aunt that used to rob banks.
Please get an answer. I can't wait to hear this shit.
Alex, all of our stories are in. Fuck, I think Tony's right.
Yep, I'm right.
This story belongs to Valerie Vaughn.
Valerie Vaughn. Let's give it up for Valerie Vaughn. Look, it wasn't Dave. The whole time, these guys being racist as hell. They go, Dave, it was definitely your aunt. What did I tell you? Shotgun is the white man's gun, okay? There's not many blacks or Puerto Ricans robbing banks with shotguns. That's not how that works, okay? Kid Rock, Like Some Young song. What's this one? There it is, right here. The name of the song is called Daddy Cool. We can't listen to the whole thing. So I'm gonna put captions on it, right? It's towards the end. There's gonna be a rap from a show or a movie, an old movie called Osmosis Jones, starring Bill Murray, and I think it was like Chris Tucker or some shit like that. They were voicing the characters. I don't fucking know. I haven't seen this movie in forever. But there's a song in here, and the last chorus or the last verse of the song, Kid Rock's talking about how he wants to fuck. How it's not even just it's not that you want to get underage girls to hang out with you. It's mandatory. It's not that it's not that you can have it happen. It's that you have to have it happen. That was like, so we gotta be very careful about this, because this shit will get this episode taken down. So we gotta listen to this very sparingly. Oh, look at that. I just passed it. Where is it at? Right here. Okay. Wait, that's not it. Let's go a little bit forward. Okay, a little bit more.
Now some people say my mind's blown. I'm coolin' like
No, we gotta go a little bit more.
young ladies.
That's it right there. You hear that? Young ladies, young ladies. Now let's listen. I'm gonna see if I can go back just a little bit. You're gonna hear it. It's gonna start. That last verse is just young ladies, young ladies. I'm gonna have to stop it every now and then so we don't get fucked. But listen to this.
Age me. Young ladies, young ladies. I like them underage. See,
So young ladies, I like them underage. See, that's what we're working with right here on this last verse. It's the beginning. This is Kid Rock, okay, right in this bop for good old Osmosis Jones. This is the guy Tony's been getting drunk with all day before he went and hung out at Story Wars. Young ladies, I like them underage. See, now you might think like, oh, maybe that goes along with the story of Osmosis Jones. It doesn't. Osmosis Jones was the story of a man that treated his body like shit. He was disgusting. He ate gross food, and he was shutting down. He was dying, right? The character was Bill Murray. Osmosis Jones is the story of his antibiotics working to keep him alive. That's the whole story. Now, the underage bitch involved in that plot, I'll tell you that right now. That was the whole thing. So Kid Rock's going, young ladies, I like them underage. See, where are we talking about? Osmosis Jones. Now listen to the rest of it.
Some say that's statutory, but I say it's mandatory.
Now that's the last part. Some say it's statutory, but I say it's mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Kid Rock. He likes him young. Kid Rock. He likes him young. That's who Tony's been hanging out with this whole time. Good old Kid Rock. He likes him young. Just like, that was a good way to end the episode, man. Just to let you guys all know that Daddy Rock out there is a goddamn pedo. You know what I'm saying? He's a goddamn pedo. So let's throw on a little bit of tunes, right? So we can get ready to end this little ditty bop bop. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. We got any music going? Let's get some music going. There we go. So a little bit of music to end this one out. As always, I'd like to thank you all for hanging out with me and sticking around to the end of the episode. Here over at Lost Aux Media, it's the podcast where, of course, we make you take a second look at what you just watched. Be sure to stay up to date with all things Lost Aux Media. Catch up with us on our socials or support the show by buying merch over at Lost Aux Media. Or LostAux.media. Look at that. LostAUX.media. That's where you can do all of that, okay? Okay, Wednesdays, episodes premiere 5 a.m. audio on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you listen to your favorite podcast. Video episodes on Spotify and YouTube at 7 p.m. As always, be sure to call into the show if you want to get your voicemail heard on the air. Maybe you want some advice. You want to anonymously get something off your chest. Talk some shit. Tell a joke. Or just tell me how much you love or hate the show. That phone number is 316-396-0025. Again, as always, much love and much goodbyes. See you later.
Things, but make your mama say, wish you never met me. Baby, it's true, I ripped through the chains, drew my muzzle off, and I'm coming your way.